Hello, everyone. I recorded this just now, and guess what? The sound was terrible because I forgot to turn up a volume. So I'm going to do it again. Here we are. All right, tonight I'm going to be talking about part two, but I'm going to take a piece of music called Mysterious Procession, which is in a book called Joy of First Year Piano, quite a popular book edited by Dennis Agay. Um, and the Mysterious Procession is actually a pretty good little piece for beginners. It only uses five notes, these five right there, and um, but it's dramatic. It has a dramatic form. One can make something of it. I try never to give pieces that you can't make a case for. There are so many really bad pieces in the method books, generally written by people who never should have tried to compose. Um, and this one's pretty good. This is just a nice little piece. So, what's the deal with it? Okay, the first thing I do is teach the kids how to read the A, the B, the C, and the E. Then we talk about the fingers. They're going to use 3, 2, 1 in the left hand for those three keys, and they're going to use 2 in the right hand for the E. Now, in the book, it says put the 3 on the E. Now, my only objection to the 3, it's a great finger, is it's one of the strong ones, is that when you put 3 there, you got both thumbs fighting for middle C. So by moving it up, use 2. 2 is another very good finger for weight, for using weight on. So that's the change I make from the book in that regard. Okay, so the piece starts with, and what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to take it from what the kid starts doing, student, might be an adult, what they do first and how you hone it down so they start playing the piano correctly. I think one of the reasons I like showing this piece is because one would look at it and go, oh, anybody can play that. But it's amazing how many people play it incorrectly. What do I mean by that? Not the notes, not even the rhythms. They play wrong. They use their mechanism incorrectly. I'll show you the first thing they do. Well, some of them. They start by playing this. And it's it's hard pushing down of keys like this and staying on them. I've even had kids go where they don't lift these fingers. They do a poor legato. Let's put it that way. They do a poor legato. Okay, so what's the first thing I have to do? I have to tell them to play the notes on time, but not to hold them down. Just strike them. And if they hold the left hand one a little longer, this one they kind of have to, because they got to play it over and over again, they've got to lift that one up. This one, they have the option of holding everybody down. So I have to tell them, kind of hold that for like 2 of these, and then lift it up. Get a timing going. And you're going to be striking them like that. The other thing is they all of a sudden, when they learn it, want to go fast. Tell them to keep their tempo. Give them a tempo on the metronome to listen to before they start playing it. They're probably not ready to use the metronome when they play it, but at least beforehand. Give them a 92 or whatever. And that's the first thing I tell them. Just make a nice sound that way. Make a nice rhythm. That's really what you want. You want a good rhythm. Now, as far as that goes, when they played that opening with the 8 E's before the left hand comes in, I tell them that it's in twos. The whole piece is kind of in twos. What does that mean? Well, we'll talk more in depth about that during these broadcasts, but it means a louder note and a softer note in blunt terms. So we hear groups of 2. That's a big deal. And, well, we'll talk about the other thing later. There's an extra element we can do there. But so they learn to do this. And when they come in together, now for some kids that have trouble knowing when to play that left hand on the right hand, which is playing the beat kind of, I use what are called resultants, which I didn't invent them, but I've used them for this, and that's probably somewhat of a novel use. I tell them it's always at the beginning. It's always both right, both right, both right, both right, both right, both right. Gives them a better sense of when to bring that left hand in. Later, of course, both right, both right, both right, right, right. That's a 4-beat note. So they have a couple of extra rights on their own. So just a little trick. If I'll be using that trick a lot in the future, so be aware of it. I call them resultants. You can either be playing both hands, the right hand or the left hand, and sometimes they. Well, I'm going to be getting into it, but sometimes saying both and the right just helps them rhythmically. Okay, so they get into it, they start playing it, and they kind of like it. And I say, now push the pedal down. All right, so we'll push our pedal down because we're not getting any sound now. We're getting what sounds like Morse code. So push the pedal down, and let's see what happens with that. I won't start with the 8 notes. I'll start with the melody comes in. And right away, they like that. They realize, first of all, they don't have to make legato here, which would be redundant to do once you add the pedal. So we do it that way, but then we realize that the left hand is making this clangorous sound, which isn't too bad. It could fit the piece. It could fit the picture of the whole thing. But I then say, let's work the pedal with just the melody notes, where we're going to do our up downs on each note. You have plenty of time to do it. Take a look. And you can see it sounds better. You're getting the full advantage of using the pedal, but you're not getting the clangorous sound of having all those notes sounding at the same time. So it's up, down on each melody note. When you get to the 4-beat note, you do an up, down, and you keep it down for the 4 beats. When you get to the 1-beat notes, which you haven't heard yet, I'll do those now. On the next part, it goes. And the kids always say to me, boy, you do it fast then. You go up and down fast. I say to them, well, that's not really that fast. You have enough time. Up, down, up, down, up, down. Leave it down. So yeah, you can pedal each note of the melody separately from the others. So we work on that. And they start to feel that the hands being very free from the keys to just think of what's coming up and let the pedal do all that holding stuff. The next part has the quarter notes in it. Sorry. Right here. Up, down, up, down, up, down. Okay, so they get into that. We're making a much better sound. We've got our rhythm, our loud, soft, loud, soft. See, when you play the 2 notes, when you play the melody at the beginning, it does the loud, soft automatically because you've got 2 notes playing, then just 1, then 2, then just 1. So that kind of automatically does the loud, soft for them. That's why I like the piece. Anyway, so then we start talking about the beginning being awfully boring with this. It's correct. We're playing it right. We've got our pedal down, making it sound nice. We've got the loud, soft, but it's 8 loud softs 4 loud softs in a row. And that can get a little dull. That's called the hook of the piece. It's the introduction, which in the studio we call it the hook, recording studio. And the hook should be made more interesting. So I don't know whether a guy wrote it in his book. Can't find the book right now. It's up there somewhere. But doesn't matter. I start softly, do a crescendo for a little bit, and then drop way down, so that when you hear the left hand come in, it's like, yeah, That was what was going to happen. Watch. I'll do it. I should say, listen. So it gave you a reason for that to be there. 8 notes, just bang, bang, bang. It's like, why are you doing that? It's like a water torture, water dripping torture. So start soft, get louder, get much louder, come down. Now, by hitting, that's what we're doing. We're really hitting these keys. We have much more control over making the left hand louder than the right by simply dropping in from a little bit greater height. Keep this one close. Keep that hand close. Then you can see me, my hand comes up to get ready to hit the A again. Pedals down. Buying time. Remember that expression. Buying time. Don't have to do a lot here. Tomorrow night we'll talk about a more involved piece. But right now I want to show how much there is to know about for a very simple piece. And kids walk away from a piece like this playing the piano rather badly. So, getting back to it. What else? Well, on the second line, you've got this guy. Then it repeats the exact same thing, so I tell them do it very softly. I think a gay may have said to do that. And you need a lot of weight control here to make that softer. So you get the repeat. Stay closer. Then at the end of the piece, the next line, which is the end, I start very softly, get louder again, and then when I get softer, I get much slower to end the piece. Pedal up, end the piece. So it's a piece of art. It's a good work. It's something, like I said, that you can make a case for. I always think of this. I see a procession of these, like Gregorian guys walking down with the robes, carrying torches in this dark hallway. I often play with the kids. They play it. I'll do it with one hand. And I add this to it. And they think that's cool. And it helps them see the picture I see. But anyway, it's not the piece that matters. No piece ever matters with a piano student. It's what tools he's picking up as to where and how he's going to deal with striking the keys. A lot of kids never learned how to strike keys. They didn't learn how to do it. In that piece, there's virtually really no legato. You could make a case for it, but I don't believe you need it. Nothing goes quickly. I mean, if you had to go, well, then you would need to use some finger legato. But this is... It's funny, one of the first pieces I give students to play when they very first start is, and I kind of skipped it, maybe I should have done that one first, is Westminster Chimes. But I give them a rule. I say, you have a couple of rules. First of all, you're only going to use your second finger. The second rule is you're going to have your pedal down the whole time. You're going to push the pedal down the whole time. And the third rule is you're only going to play staccato notes. You're only going to play short note. Every note is going to be played short. I don't want to see you stay on that key. So they learn. I show them the notes. They learn the notes, and they play with only that one finger. And you know this, Westminster Chimes, the famous doorbell. We have a church downtown that plays this on every hour. They do the Westminster Chimes. I think it came from Big Ben or something. And this is what it looks like when they do it. there you go. And what I catch them doing, and this is important, what I catch them doing is they go, I go, nope, you broke a rule. What rule? Jeff, what rule? Well, you held him down. Oh, yeah, he's a long note. I thought I would stay on him. I said, I don't want you staying on him. Okay? So just hang out. Just hang out until the beats go by. Have your hand up here. This is extremely important. Most piano books start with, okay, Johnny, put your hand here. Now play that note and keep it down until you play the next note. I understand it's a legato thing, but it's killing them from day one because most piano playing is staccato. Most of it's either thrusting or staccato, things we'll talk about. But it kills them. It's destroying the student, whether it be an adult or a child. Yeah, the legato curse, the legato curse, kill them every time. Not getting, well, I'm going to pick a piece tomorrow night that you will see. I'm going to introduce a new term called a ghost tomorrow night. It's my own language, my own term, my own application of that term. And you'll see where they, how easy it is to get into legato hot water, okay? So anyway, I think that is, I know I re-recorded this thing. This could be longer than I wanted to talk, but anyway, hopefully I got the sound right or I have to do it again. So anyway, as I always end each night, when words fail, music speaks. See you tomorrow.